Do I ever think of Richie? Come on. We were stitched at the hip. He used to call himself my protector, so yeah, I do still think of Richie. And when I do, the first thing that comes to mind is blood-spattered snow. It's January, I'm going to say 1983, so we were all just kids, really, not even 16. And do you remember Wilson? Pete Wilson, who lived over the road from the school but was always late. Richie had it in for him. I mean, it was some petty slight or point of principle. I don't really remember what it was, but the main thing was Wilson was going to get it. And as Richie's mate, well, I had my part to play. Oi, Wilson, we'll walk home with you, we said. Now, what people didn't realise was I was friends with Pete Wilson. He trusted me. Trap set. Simple as. So off we trot, in the dark, huddled inside our coats against the cold. Snow falling all around us and crunching underfoot. Hopping from one street lamp piss puddle of light to the next, and passing by houses that were switching on and closing themselves up for the night behind curtains. To Pete, it was probably 20 minutes of chit-chat, but to me, it was 20 minutes with a dry mouth and a pounding heart, and it was going bang, bang, bang. But acting normal, playing my part. And then we stopped just inside the park gates. There's this big open space covered in a perfect blanket of white snow. Nobody said anything. And I think that's when Wilson realised something was up. But I played my role. Job done. Richie drops his bag and he beats Wilson shitless. It was all so unreal. You know when people say it's like falling off a cliff? It was that. He kept punching him over and over again, and he was kicking him like he was a rag doll, and I'm panicking. And I'm going, that's enough. Richie, stop! That's enough! That's enough. And then by some miracle, Richie does stop. It's like he snapped back into reality, and it was just silence. Like we were these three tiny figures inside a giant snow globe. The snowflakes falling all around us. And that perfect blanket of white snow was all screwed up like some toddler's spider scribble. That frenzied map of violence gouged out with a red crayon. And then all I could hear was Wilson's ragged breathing. Thin wisps of blonde hair had been torn out in clumps, hanging around his head like this bloody halo. He was hugging himself, sort of crying and whimpering. Blood was dripping from his nose, snot was everywhere. And then he just looked at me. His pleading, wounded eyes just looked at me. I can still feel it now. And the eyes were just saying, why? I shrugged. Do you know, I actually just shrugged. Like I was saying, well, it's nothing to do with me, mate. I'm just Richie's mate. I'm just here along for the ride. You know, you're just collateral. You'll get over it. When what I should have been saying was, I'm scared too. I am so scared I can't even say or do anything. I just want to go home. And then I turned and I walked away like a total fucking coward. So 40 years on, and the shame of that evening still burns brightly. So yes, I do still think of Richie and the blood-spattered snow and living in fear and how I used to hate myself. Another pint.